Hey everyone, Scott with Air Gunner Reviews. So I'm having some problems with my Byrna LE, first time ever on any type of Byrna. And it happens to do with the trigger, and I've already taken the top off and I can kind of tell what's going on. So I wanted to show you. If you pull the trigger, and when you pull the trigger, this whole unit's supposed to go back, but it's not. And I'll explain that in a second. So what's happening right now is I just have a free trigger. Now, if I had CO2 loaded into it, and even projectiles, all it would do is blow air, but the projectile would not come out. So I wanted to figure out what's going on with it, so I took the top off of it, as you can see, and this piece right here is not supposed to go free, moving like this. It's supposed to, this whole assembly is supposed to move. So if I were to hold it down, let me put this down a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about, and I can better handle it. Okay, so if I were to hold both of these pieces like this whole thing is supposed to slide back like that, and then come back. Slide in and back. But I'm not getting that. This piece is free. So luckily, Sean over at Less Lethal for Dummies has taken apart his LE, and I have watched his disassembly video. And there's a very interesting part here that kind of tells me, gives me a little clue anyway of what's going on. And here it is. And it has to do with these little silver pin right there that's in there. It's on both sides. And I believe that's supposed to lock this inner tube with the outer one. And for whatever reason, it is broken free. Giving that knowledge, thank you very much, Sean. Now I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to see what happened. And this is just mainly for the interest of science. I can always put it back and contact Byrna and hopefully send it back. Of course, if they watch this video, they probably won't do anything for me. Anyhow, let me take this apart and let's see what's going on. Okay guys, I figured out the culprit, and please don't mind me, I have a cold, so my voice is definitely scratchy. Anyhow, so this is my barrel, and there is the spring on there, and there is a sleeve that fits onto the barrel. Now I'm going to tell you what I want you to do after you watch this video. I want you to go back and tighten up all the screws on your Byrna launcher, especially the ones that are in the front, because I believe if they backed out a little bit, and you can see here these little pins that are on each side of it. Those little pins fit into a groove right here, and they slide back and forth. But if they get loose, if they back out, as you can probably see, this one's backed out more than this one. They sit in an indentation in the barrel. You can see that little indentation right there? It's on both sides. So what happens is this has got to fit in here. I'm going to have to back out the other one and press that in really good, and then put the marker back, and hopefully this should work. So yeah, so you got to kind of back these out as much as you can. If this happens to you, I mean, I don't recommend you taking apart your Byrna, because there's always a chance that you won't get it back. And I'm taking that chance right now. But for the interest of science, and thank you, Sean, for taking apart your Byrna. I would have never attempted this without you, but I think you just saved my Byrna, I'm hoping. So anyhow, I'm going to put that back in here, put it in there, push it down really good so it stays. Put it all back together, really tighten up those nuts and the bolts, and you should do the same. And we'll come back and see if this actually fixed the problem. Okay, so I got that all back together right there. I took a small little rubber mallet and made sure I pounded those back in. And that's what holds the whole thing, that little sleeve. That brings me to another point that I made another video, which I'll put a link into. And one of my points were not to load an extra projectile in your magazine. In other words, you put your 6 or your 5 or 7, whatever you have, you load it and then you bring it back down and add another one. Not recommended. Now I never did that, and I still had a problem. But any type of extra drag you're putting onto this isn't going to be good. I'm going to put this back together now. At least I'm going to attempt to, and hopefully have some good success, and then we'll try it. All right, so I've got it all back together other than putting my top piece back on. Seems to be working the way it should be. Thank you over to Less Lethal for Dummies, Sean. I appreciate it. I couldn't have done that without you. Yeah, so just make sure that you have everything tight. All right, let's see if she's back. Full CO2 in here. I haven't pierced it yet, so I'm just going to pierce it. Listen for some leaks. Hopefully everything's fine. I don't hear any leaks. Let's see if she shoots. Uh-oh. Yeah. So that's what happened before. It got stuck. Looks like it's going to have to go back to Byrna for repairs. Too bad. And you can see how it's stuck right in there. All right, just a couple of points to follow up on with this. Number one, as I mentioned before, to tighten up these screws, especially that one and this one. It's always good to make sure your screws are tight, but since this has to travel along that rail, I doubt that that had anything to do with it. And yeah, this is what happens. It goes in, stays in, does not come back out. I have to take my finger and bring it back out. So that's a total pain. I am kind of surprised though with the barrel that that little detent that they put in where that press and fit part goes in is so small, and I'm also surprised that they don't glue those or do something else. Seems to me that that would happen more often with this marker, that that you would have that problem. So yeah, so if you're experiencing this and it's shooting but nothing's coming out, yeah, that's the problem that you're having with it. And let me know if you are having that problem. And then secondly, I went on last night. First of all, I could not find my order number. I knew when it was purchased and all that good stuff, but I could not find my order number because I didn't have my original receipt. And I failed to register it when I bought it. And I bought it back in February of last year, but it didn't ship to me. No, yeah, February, I believe it was. They didn't ship it out until March because they had some problems, filling the orders. So that's pretty much so when my warranty would start. But anyway, so I could not fill out the warranty information, so I contacted them. I let them know what my serial number is on the bottom, that's behind the trigger, and when I purchased it, and etc. They were nice enough, they replied back with a screenshot of my purchase. So now I have my purchase order number, which is great. So I went ahead and I filled out my registration, or I'm sorry, I filled out my warranty information, I should say. And so now I should be covered, and I will be shipping it back to them. I got to put the Byrna boost back on and everything. And there's always a chance that they're going to review this, this video and maybe say, hey, you've already taken it apart, and we're not going to cover you. And that's a chance I have taken for, posting this issue. However, I didn't cause the issue. I put it back together exactly how it was, and But anyway, that's the whole scenario. I have found before they've been pretty fair to me with the service, and I expect the same this time. And I'll keep you guys posted on what happens with this. Hey, as always, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Thanks.